Steeler Nation, what's happening? What is happening, Steeler Nation? I know y'all asking yourselves, man, Sim is back again. And it's not even Tuesday. I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. Short and sweet. I have only but one topic tonight. Tomorrow, guys, 8 p.m. Eastern time. You would want to come through to the show. Still table time. It's going to be myself, my good brother Kenyon. We're going to rock out. We're going to have a conversation. You guys, I'm sure will enjoy. We haven't done a still table in a while, but we getting that popping tomorrow. And if for any reason that Kenyon is unavailable, I'll still be on for the normal Terrible Towel Tuesday. But guys, I did not want to wait on this because I just have to get this off my chest. So if I could ask y'all to bear with me for about 10 to 15 minutes, I just got to get it off my chest. Let me see who all is up in here, man. Look like we got some Terrible Towel Tuesday faithful up in here. And as you can see, I call it the special edition. All right, man. So I don't know where I want to start with this, man. I know some people are on the other side of the fence when it comes to Justin Fields. I will explain myself when I say the Steelers fumbled the bag. Some of you guys are debating about the money and yada, yada, yada. We're going to get to all of that. All right, we're going to get to all of that. But let me just say how I feel for a moment. It's not so much that it's Justin Fields, the player, right? Yes, I wanted to see his upside because of the choices that the Steelers had. Mind you, listen to what I'm saying. I wanted to see the upside because of the choices the Steelers had. Meaning, we bring in Russell Wilson, we bring in Justin Fields. Those are the guys. Steelers come out and tell us that they want to retain at least one of those guys, right? So I'm looking at it from the standpoint on what the Steelers told us. So if you were going to retain either Justin Fields or Russell Wilson, I prefer Justin Fields because of the upside, in my opinion. I'm not concerned about other people's opinions in terms like, oh, he sucks and his ceiling is it. Dog, we all got our own opinions. It is my opinion that Justin Fields still had room to grow. It is my opinion that Justin Fields could have allowed the Steelers to be the running team that they want to be, right? With an occasional bomb down the field. It's my belief that Justin Fields would have been able to do that. We saw Justin Fields in 6 games. Yes, Justin Fields has things to work on. I get it. I understand that. Yes, I understand that. But you can say that about a whole bunch of quarterbacks. That they had things to work on, right? And they eventually got it together. That's the only reason why I preface it with that. Now, let me just address where we are right now. Then I will get into the Justin Fields thing. Do you guys realize since last night, Justin Fields has signed with the team. Sam Darnold has signed with the team. The Pittsburgh Steelers still do not have a quarterback under contract except for that. What's the kid that we got? What's his name? Thompson or whatever his name is. I didn't think this was going to be the situation come Monday, even though I know it's the tampering period. You guys know that realistically, free agency starts during the tampering period. I did not realize after last night that this is the conversation that we would be having. That Justin Fields went and got signed by the New York Jets, as well as Sam Darnold, who was the guy that I was kicking his back in a little bit last night. I shouldn't have, because let me preface it and say this. It wasn't that I did not want Sam Darnold. It was Sam Darnold was not on my bingo card when I thought about who the quarterback would be in 2025. So I'm not taking anything away from Sam Darnold, because again, if we talk about money, Sam Darnold went out there and performed, and he got himself a 3-year contract for $100 million, 55 guaranteed. Again, I like to say that to some of you guys who always judge quarterbacks in the first year. Most of us could say Sam Darnold had a bumpy go at it, right? You know, whether you want to say his situation with the Jets just wasn't great, or Carolina, or the 49ers. He lucks up. I'll say lucks up because it was somewhat luck that unfortunately McCarthy gets hurt in Minnesota. He has to lead the team, and he went on quite a run and showed off. Started to tail off a little bit near the end of the season, but again, showed out. And the boy earned himself some money. So again, while most people would crumble him up and throw him in the trash, this dude is $55 million richer today. And that's why I'm not so hasty on quarterbacks like some of us are in Steelers Nation. Oh, get him out of here. One season, y'all ready to kick somebody down the curb. So all I'm saying is, I don't know what Justin Fields could have ended up being, but let me now just get to my point, because again, I'm only going to be here for a short time tonight. I'm sticking to that tonight because we got tomorrow. This is the reason why I'm saying the Steelers fumbled the bag. It is reported, well, we know that Justin Fields signed a 40-year deal with the Jets, 2 years, right around that average that all of us said it would probably be anywhere from 15 to 20, right? And we said anywhere around there is probably a decent contract because of the market. Again, everybody, especially Steelers Nation, we get so fixated with the money. But it's the market that demands the money. It's a quarterback-driven league. Again, I always tell people to go back and look at guys like Chase Daniel. A couple years ago, Chase Daniels made like $13, $14 million to do what? It's the quarterback market. So you can't be mad at the players. Be mad at the game. So I knew that Justin Fields had an opportunity to make somewhere between, I'll go on the lower end, 15 to perhaps $20 million. 20 million is a little high. But we knew that 2 year worth 30 million or something like that was in the cards. So Fields has been signed to a 2-year, $40 million deal with $30 million guaranteed. It's reported that the Steelers offered him 2 years, which we all said that's fair. 30 million, which is closer to the price range, 15 per, with 20 million guaranteed. So it's a matter of Justin Fields saying, man, I'm going to take the more money. Can't be mad at that. Now, in reality, are you upset that the Steelers didn't pay that extra 10? Maybe. But here's the reason why I would say they fumbled it. How is it possible that you are sitting in this situation today? You got to keep the guy. You have to keep Fields over Wilson. That's what you said you were going to do. It has to be Fields. Here's the reason why I say that. How much do you guys think Russell Wilson is going to take now? Honest question. How much do you think Russell Wilson is going to sign for if that's who we end up with? How much do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to take? And let me go out on a limb right now and say this. I don't know if I said this last night. I may have, but guys, I do not in no way, shape, or form want Aaron Rodgers to be the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback in 2025. I don't want that. No. Absolutely not. I'm sorry. He's 41 years old. I cannot continue to allow the Steelers to just do these stopgaps. One of these times you're going to have to pull the trigger. Hey, you did it with Kenny Pickett. It didn't work out. It didn't cost you a lot of money. Do it again. Now, I'm not saying that the kid is in the draft this year, but what I am saying is if it's not Fields, who's on the younger end, if it wasn't Donald, which, again, I'm not sure where I sat on that until I watch more Minnesota film. Now I don't have to do it. But I was going to watch and say, well, let me see, What did Donald actually do? I knew his stats and everything were high, but I didn't watch a ton of Minnesota games to know. So I was willing to go see what was Donald, and has my mind changed on bringing him in. Not that I had anything against Sam Darnold. It's just that I didn't know, wasn't familiar with how his game was this past season. How he was able to play so well. What was the good? What was the bad? Did they stretch the field? Did they throw intermediate routes? Did they throw over the middle? Did he use his leg? I don't know. Right? So it would have required me to study, but I wouldn't have been as upset with that if they were going to go with one of the free agents that wasn't Wilson or Fields, because guess what? The common denominator for me is building on the future. Donald, also a younger man at 27. So I wouldn't have been mad if they would have done kind of what Seattle did. I don't know about that much money, but a 3-year deal wouldn't have made me that upset with a Sam Darnold, even though might not have been my first choice because I'm not as familiar with how good he played with my own eyes. Not just talking about stats, but I would have accepted that if that's what it was going to be over Russell Wilson, over Matthew Stafford, over Kirk Cousins, and absolutely over Aaron Rodgers. I keep hearing about Aaron Rodgers. All these reports, they're in talks, they're close. Dog, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm not going to be happy. Y'all might see me in the more rare form than you ever seen me in. I don't want to hear none of the excuses. I don't want to hear none of the excuses of, shout outs to Dan Orlovsky. I don't have no beef with Dan, man, but I do not agree with Dan on this. Bring Aaron Rodgers in. No. You know who I agree with as far as the media? Shannon Sharp said it just the same way I did last night when he said the Steelers need to stop with the stopgaps. Yes, they have to stop doing that. We have to stop doing that. I'm just keeping it a buck. We have to stop doing the stopgaps. You need to build this team with youth, starting with your franchise quarterback. You have to go attempt to get a guy that you expect to have at least 2 contracts with your franchise. Period. That is period. I don't have no other opinion than that. And if you guys have put Wonder Bread in the chat, I'm sorry if I missed it. I don't see any, but if I missed it, my bad. I'm only going to be a few more minutes. You can't do it, bro. Man, as much as I respect Omar Khan, the Rooneys, Mike Tomlin, if we end up with Aaron Rodgers, I am not going to be happy. I'm telling y'all that right now. And I'm going to keep that energy even if we win with Aaron Rodgers. I'm still going to keep that energy because you know why? I do not think it makes the Steelers a Super Bowl team. So even if we have a winning season, win a playoff game, I'm still going to say I'm not happy because it is not a future move. That's just me. Some of y'all might feel like, no, well, maybe, if we could, him 1 or 2 years. No, it don't work. It hasn't worked. The thing is, even with us taking that approach, we haven't gotten the guy to do it. Aaron Rodgers at 41, coming off an Achilles and coming off of a season where he wasn't great, is not the answer. It's not the answer. And I just had to come and say that really quick, man. I'm going to give y'all a few minutes in the chat. I needed to get that off my chest because, like I said, tomorrow, man, it's going to be Kenyon and myself both kicking it. Still table time. I'm not happy with what I saw today, guys. And let me say this again. I'm going to just preface it with the market. There's nothing else out there. So while some of y'all are going to stick to the, Justin Fields ain't worth that kind of money. And I get it. But who's out there? Do y'all know who else is out there? Want me to throw another name that they putting out there? Since there's no Darnold? or Fields? Daniel Jones. Yes. Daniel Jones, because there's reports out there now that the Steelers may have an interest and the Giants may have interest in Russell Wilson, as well as the Titans. So if Russell Wilson signs elsewhere, guess what? If we still talking about free agent to be the starter, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers or Daniel Jones. And that's why I'm like, yo, I love you guys as fans, but sometimes we get ahead of ourselves and I don't want that guy. I ain't paying that money. Dog, the pool wasn't that big. We was in the little baby pool. You know, like when you go to a community pool and they got the big old Olympic-sized pool over there, and then you look over here or at a resort, they got that little baby pool. Right now, we're dealing with the baby pool of quarterbacks. If you're talking about guys with NFL experience. And that pool is small, because even out of those guys, there might have been two maybe that you was like, all right, I'll kick the tires on that. One of them was Russell. No, not Russell. One of them was Justin Fields, and the other was Sam Darnold. The other ones are in the geriatric pool. No disrespect. Because 36 years old, 37 years old is not old on the earth, but on the gridiron. And 41 is ancient on the gridiron. When you think about the style of play of an Aaron Rodgers. Donation. The style of play of an Aaron Rodgers, 41 years old, is ancient. We got Wonder Bread, man. Really quick, because I got to get out of here. Round of applause to my guy, C.T. Pittman, man. Thank you, brother. He said it was slim pickings from the get-go. Facts. 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 And let me tell y'all something. I see some of the comments. I'm going to just keep it a buck, dog. I don't care about anybody disagreeing or agreeing. I don't. I do not care. I do not care who agrees with me or disagrees with me. This is just my opinion. You ain't going to change my opinion. Now, if you ask me, here's the funny thing. Here's the article from the funny papers that I'll give you. If you asking me right now who I would rather have with no Fields and no Sam Darnold, which I wasn't, again, not because of talent. I didn't watch Sam Darnold to know if I would prefer him or not. See, I'm not a stat chaser. A lot of people just saw his stats and what he did. Oh, bring him to Pittsburgh. No. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work in Pittsburgh. But right now, you know who I would prefer to have if you still want to bring back a veteran? You might as well bring Russ back. Let me explain why. Let me explain to you why I would take Russell Wilson right now over Aaron Rodgers. Coming right to you with the Wonder Bread. 1 second. You know why I would do that? Because at least he played with us last year. At least there's some chemistry there with the offense. At least there's chemistry there with him and GP. At least there's chemistry with him and DK. I would rather run it back with Russ. And you guys know my problems with Russ. Even being a Russ fan. Russell Wilson is not the greatest when he got to stand in that pocket. No, that ain't a knock on him. That's been his game. His entire career, he was the best on the move. I don't know, man. Round of applause, man, to who is this? S. Dresden. Appreciate that Wonder Bread. At this point, I ain't mad at that. He said they should move for Dart. Won't be there in the third. I'm not, listen, I said that last night too. I'm probably going to say it again tomorrow as well as right now. Dog, I'm not mad if the Steelers decide they want to, take a swing at a Jackson Dart or whoever else. I'm gonna just say that with a blind statement. I have not watched Jackson Dart film. I'm not that familiar with him to know if he should or shouldn't. Right? Only other quarterbacks that I'm kind of familiar with, Cam Ward, of course. I watched a lot of Shador. Anybody else in the draft at this point, I would not care if they took a chance at anybody. Not the top guys, but I'm just saying. Because what are your options? The Steelers are back in purgatory again with quarterback play. Dog, we talking about Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Daniel Jones, or one of these boys in the draft. Like it or not. And like I said, some of y'all was mad that Fields got, we ain't gonna pay him. Dog, it turned into the same money. The guaranteed money was just higher, but the Steelers were going to give him $30 million. Because I'm pretty sure he would have been there for the 2 years unless they had a nice exit after year one. I'm just saying, it's the market. Now, the Jets may have reached a little bit, but it's the market. All of these dudes that y'all talking about are going to want that or more. As they watch Justin Fields earn $40 million with $30 guaranteed for 2 years. You think you getting Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers for less than that? No. Especially on the tail end of their career, if they trying to get that one last bang before they hang. You understand what I'm saying? Unfortunately, our Steelers have put us in this situation, fans. Like I said, I'm not even going to look at the comments because I know some of y'all are like, yes. Some of y'all are like, oh, Sim, you're crazy. I'll take Aaron Rodgers. Whatever. The point of the matter is that the Steelers are in a bad situation when it comes to quarterback. Unless they pull off some crazy move that we're not expecting. As we sit here today, this is sad, bro. That's all I'm going to say. This is sad. Yeah, I don't know, Malvo. Respect your opinion, but it just seems like we're always on the opposite end of the spectrum. Sometimes I feel like maybe you don't always. I feel like sometimes maybe you listen to me weekly and not take the cumulative effect. I've always been a huge Russell Wilson fan. Let me put it in a sweet bow right now. Russell Wilson came in, he elevated our offense. Took some of the running away from the quarterback, of course, but Russell Wilson had a stretch where he elevated the offense, pushed the ball down the field. Offense was humming a little bit. Once that film got out, they turned Russ into a one-trick pony. We were able to see that Russell Wilson is just not the best when he has to sit in the pocket. That's not a knock. Like I said, in his, some would say, Hall of Fame years, he's on the move. His game has been boot action, moving that pocket. He's always had the outstanding moon ball, good with the deep ball. But when we were losing, we saw why we were losing. Didn't take a lot of shots down the middle of the field. I'm just saying. I'm not beating up Russell Wilson, the player. I have loved what Russell Wilson has done in the NFL. And even it was times during this season when I would say, hey, man, I got to admit, I kind of wanted to rock with Fields, but I ain't mad at them going with Russ. And, oh, look, Russ is playing. He's cooking. But then, like I said, once the film got out there, it slowed down a bit. I don't want to repeat that because you got to think about how we played in the last 5 games. It's not all on Russell Wilson, but you have to remember how stagnant the offense came. What's going to change with Russell Wilson? That's why I do not want to run it back with Russ. And again, even void of the talent, put the talent aside. I do not want a quarterback that's 35 years or older to start for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's it. It's just that simple. We don't have to debate on who we like and who we don't like. If y'all want to know my opinion, I do not want a 35-plus-year-old quarterback to lead the 2025 Steelers, because that means the future is still not settled. I would rather the Steelers go with young free agents or go draft and keep trying until you get it. Just that simple. That's all I have to say. I don't have to explain it at all again. Those are my thoughts. Y'all said happy for Najee. What Najee get? Did he get signed somewhere? Did he get signed somewhere? Seen somebody say happy for Najee. But that's it, man. I'm gonna read a couple comments and I'm out of here. King Bray 2003 says, I just found out Najee Harris is signing a 1-year, $9.25 deal with the Chargers. Shout outs to Najee. Hey, Kenyon called that one. Kenyon said he would end up at the Chargers. Shout outs to Najee, man. He gets to go back to the West Coast. He's a Bay Area kid, so that's dope. I ain't mad at that. And he might do work out there. Harbaugh's mentality, he's a hard-nosed, like to run the football too. But guess what else Harbaugh has? The other Harbaugh. Yeah, he has Justin Herbert. You see? All of these teams on the come up or that were playoff bound or deep in the playoffs have one common theme. Youth at quarterback. All of them. And I'm not going to get too overly hype on this guy because he was a rookie. But even look at the Broncos with Nix. You would expect Nix to get better. Was a little rough early. He got better over the season. Now it's year 2. Now you would expect year 3 that Nix is going to be good. Justin Herbert. Joe Burrow. C.J. Stroud. Jalen Hurts. Lamar Jackson. I'm not even going to mention Mahomes. I'm not even going to mention him. Like, it's just, dog, it has to happen. It has to. And let me end by saying this. This might be part of the Mike Tomlin philosophy, man. Some of y'all say he's not going to put faith in a young guy. See what I was saying? Yes, I support Mike Tomlin. Think Mike Tomlin has been a great coach. But sometimes your philosophy ages. And if things like that is getting in the way, this is why we are where we are. Plain and simple. But all right, man, I'm going to get out of here. Let me see if y'all got one or two things. And like I said, no disrespect, Malvo. We just have different opinions, man. So that's fine. So that's why there's no need for me to get into that chatter and that debate. Because, if you think one way, I think another, and that's fine. Smitty says, this has nothing to do with Coach Tomlin. This is front office. Possible. Let's see. Daron says, Sim, do you think we would go after Sanders in the draft? Yeah, man. Me and Kenyon going to talk about that tomorrow. Come back tomorrow, guys, for Terrible Towel Tuesday, and me and Kenyon going to chop that up. A lot of people have asked about Shedeur. Kenyon asked me how I felt. We'll get into that tomorrow. But let me go ahead and get out of here, guys. Y'all know tomorrow is one of my commute days, so I got to get out of there. Oh, Lord, Daniel Jones. No. And again, I don't even... Want me to drop another bombshell on y'all? I don't even think Daniel Jones is a bum. How about those apples? So I won't close the door on him. I don't prefer that. I don't. But I don't think he's trash. Most people think he sucks. I don't necessarily think he sucks. It's just, again, it wasn't on my bingo card, man. So I would have to warm up to it. Yeah, Kenyon. If you're free, definitely want to get that still table. If you're free, but if not, I'll be back solo tomorrow. But anyway, guys, I gotta go. Y'all know the routine. If you're new or if you're not, do this. hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications. Before we get out here tonight, man, I just want to, say to you guys, like always, yes, please stay safe, stay healthy. God bless. Good night. I thank y'all for tuning in like always, and no, probably will not have no phone calls again tomorrow because, again, guys, Blog Talk Radio has gone out of business. I am trying to find a program that mimics Blog Talk. Independent phone number, no required account or login, the ability to work the switchboard. That's the only option that I'm going to go for. If I have to resort to a voice call, Discord or Google Talks, no, not doing none of that. Just personal. It's just a personal thing. I'm not doing any of that. Those things are messy. But all right, man, y'all have a good night. Come back tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll rock out. All right, y'all be good. Peace.